Hello fellow YouTube viewers, my name is Koki the Wanderer and I'll be making a VARUS Champion Spotlight. Now, VARUS is a very strong AD carry. His only problem is the lack of escape skills. Similar to Freak's Champion Spotlight, I chose the same skills and just decided to go a different build. I think this is more suitable. We will talk about the build later. Now, his Q ability has two instances. As you can see, first is when you activate it, he starts channeling. Now you can end his channel anytime you want during the Q. You can QQ, yes, I just said QQ very fast. That's Q and then click on the ground. It is a ground targeted spell, like most of Varus's abilities. So you would kind of want to anticipate your foe. Now, when this channeling thing is at its maximum, that's when you get the maximum damage and the maximum range. So you would like to go to the maximum in most of the situations. This is also the ability that I max first. You are pretty familiar with his passive too, I forgot to mention it. But yes, attack speed if he kills. I will show it here. When he kills this little creep, he gets attack speed. Now, his W ability, I like to think about it as similar to Vayne's W. It's just a passive and you do not activate it. Why I like to think of it similar to Vayne's ability is because this helps Varus defeat champions that have big amounts of health. They are very tanky. And you should always, I will show it on the dragon. You should always make use of this W ability in between your other. Look, 1, 2, 3 ticks, then you activate it. 1, 2, and you have 2, and then you activate your Q. I will show it again at dragon. His hail of arrows. Before I show how you properly use the W, his hail of arrows fires arrows that do physical damage and desecrate the ground. This ability I'm maxing last, and it does not only slow the enemy upon impact. Any enemy that passes that ground later on gets slowed. Now, to demonstrate W, 1, 2, 3 abilities W, 1, 2, 3 abilities Q, 1, 2, 3 abilities, then you use W, 1, 2, 3. Then you can see that Varus is a very good champion if you want to take down Dragon fast or Baron fast, because he does 360 total damage versus monsters. That's the maximum he can do, and you can make sure it's the amount that he can make during Dragon, which has a lot of health, or Baron, which has even more health. Now, for his ultimate, it's ground targeted spell, has a huge range, and here you'll see me cast it on the ground, not on the champions like most people do. Cast it on the ground and it collides with the first. 1, 2, 3, then you use this. 1, 2, 3, then you use this, and I didn't even have to use heal. Of course, these are bots. but you get the idea. Look, I'm using heal now. If you like, you can also cast this while you have 3 stacks of W. It has the same effect, only please remember that it's a ground targeted skill. You may think about it as Morgana's stun, so make sure your enemies are either coming towards you or retreating or are staying still, because if you try to cast it, 1, 2, 3, target this, 1, they're probably gonna kill me if I stay there. But you get the point. First, because in the spotlight, it wasn't so obvious what targeting sequence this ultimate had. Just so you can see, I'm going to target Graves. If he would have moved out of the way, like left or right, just like Morgana's Q, you have to make sure he would stay still. If these guys weren't bots, I would have never cast that on Graves right there, because I would have assumed he would have moved left and right. Now, for runes and masteries, I take pretty much the runes which Freak gets in his champion spotlight with a little adjustments. I get armor penetration marks, I get armor seals, and I stick 3 mana regen seals in there. And as for the blue runes, I get a little bit of magic resistance. I also get some cooldown reduction. For quintessences, the same thing, armor penetration, and if you want cooldown reduction. So basically you want in this guy a little bit of armor, a little bit of magic resistance, some cooldown reduction, and a whole bunch of armor penetration. I thought about this, and getting to my build, I'll explain. Now, for masteries, I take 2190, or some people even prefer 2172 for, well, basically for the heal and for the flash. Now, I know they are pushing into our base, but it doesn't matter because I'm doing the spotlight. Now, the build I use is pretty much focused on damage, penetration, and the Brutalizer I get for cooldown reduction. With a build of 2172, I get also in the mastery tree, I get magic penetration with the 4% cooldown reduction. This, I think, is important because this does magic damage, and you pretty much would like to see they really pushed. You would pretty much like to see him now. You would pretty much like to see him do a whole bunch of damage with his W proc. Some people may prefer it differently. I honestly prefer it like that. Now, the items. Some people don't agree with Philosopher Stone. I'm completely okay with that. I got it so that I can get gold for Spotlight faster and for the mana regen. If you're okay with conserving mana, but this guy is a huge harasser on the lane. In the laning phase, you would pretty much like to get 2, if you can 3, that's great. You can pretty much kill a creep, get the passive on, attack the enemy carry or support, because you'll probably be doing bot lane. Attack it twice and then use your Q to get him, because you can anticipate him very well, and the Brutalizer helps you use the Q more often. Now the mana regen helps, and by I say minute 20 it's already paid its own debt, the Philosopher Stone. It's not a good idea to start with Q like I did, but it's okay. If you have Brutalizer, you're gonna be finding out that you can pretty much fire it very often, and that's why I get the mana regen. Boots are self-explanatory. If you're having problems, you can get different boots, of course. Now, this awesome Q pretty much dictates that he doesn't need that much attack speed, and much like Caitlyn or other champions that benefit immensely from their from the attack damage that they get from items. That is 734 damage on that creep just from W. Getting red with him is also very important. You can snipe them from afar. You see how I waited to see if he went left or right, and you can just pretty much continue and snipe him again. Now that's viable solution, but you have to remember that he has no escapes, except from his ultimate, which can stop champions, but you have to make sure you hit something with it, because it's ground targetable. Pretty much like Morgana's Q. Now, Bloodthirsters, as I said, are very, very useful because his Q does tons of damage, as you very well saw. Now, to keep the stacks on Bloodthirster, of course, Guardian Angel is a very good solution. Also, it keeps you very protected. Sorry about that. Now, his attack speed is fairly good when he's killing creeps. It's even better when he's killing champions, so you don't have to worry about not getting attack speed items. The second item, the next item in this build will be Last Whisper, and then you just, if you want, sell your Brutalizer or upgrade it or whatever you want. But this is mainly how I play VARUS, and it's okay. And also, for those of you who didn't know, VARUS is malformation in the knee, so he uses arrows. It's a malformation in the knee. You get the point where Riot actually intended to make. You pretty much want to stay back in team fights. This is a good point to show off team fights. And you'll be fairly okay with some lifesteal. Now, if he's retreating, then I throw my ultimate pretty much like Morgana's Q. I really make reference to that because it's fairly obvious that you have to know how to land skill shots. Well, this has been Cookie the Wanderer, signing out. Hope you enjoyed this and hope it helped.